Okay, we're going to start a brand new topic today called integration. And this is the reverse of differentiation. Now, before we start, I'm going to remind you how to differentiate. So if you had 3x to the 4, to differentiate that, you would take the power to the front and multiply and subtract 1. So when I'm trying to go back to integrate, you do everything in reverse. You do the reverse order and everything else is back to front. So integrate to integrate u. So first of all, we took the power to the front, then we took 1 away. To integrate, we're going to add 1 to power, add 1 to power, and divide by it. So we're doing it all in reverse, and divide by it. So for example, if you have dy by dx, which is 12x, x3, and if you're trying to integrate it, you add 1 to the power, you divide by it, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So you've arrived back at where you're starting from. So we'll try that one more time over here. So if you had 6x squared and you wanted to go backwards, you add 1 to the power and divide by it. So integration, add 1 to power and divide by it. That's the main rules there that you have to make sure you know. Integration can be written a little bit differently. So quite often they don't start off with dy by dx. What it starts off with is this. This here curly symbol means integrate. This, and then you put dx at the end. dx means that x is doing the integration. So that's a very fancy way of just doing this example up above. So whenever you see this symbol, you integrate, and it must end with dx. That means x is doing the integration. So whenever you see this, you just focus in the middle. So you integrate. You add 1 to the power and divide by it. So we'll practice that again before we go on. So integrate. Say if I had 2x4 dx. If I see that question, this is the bit I'm looking at. That means integrate the x's. So you add 1 to the power and you divide by it. So that's your notation. Okay. I have a couple of strange things here I'm just going to work through with you. Let's remember if we're differentiating. So remember from differentiation. So if I had y equals 4x to the 5 plus 3x plus 2. And if I had to differentiate that, you remember differentiation now? Power to the front and multiply, take 1 off. The x disappears and the 2 disappears. So if I'm going to integrate that to go backwards, so I'm differentiating here and I am integrating here. So to integrate, you add 1 to the power, divide by it. Now, see the way the x disappeared when you differentiate it? Hopefully you'll have figured out that it reappears. Now, see the way the constant, the number on its own, without any x's, disappeared completely. It's going to reappear. But the only problem is, we have no clue what it's going to reappear to. Is it going to reappear as a 2? We don't know. We have no clue. So you put c, and c means constant. So it means any number. So your answer here tidies up to near enough what you had at the start. So that's what we started with, look. We differentiated it, we integrated it. At this stage, you can't work out that c is 2, but you will see stuff later on that shows you that c is 2. I'll show you how to do that later on. But at the minute, what I want you to be able to do is if I give you an expression like this, 7x minus 2 dx, that you would know this means integrate the middle bit. And how do you integrate? That power is 1. You add 1 to the power, you divide by it. The x will reappear, and the constant we don't know, we just tag it on the x, the end. So let's try it again. So if I'm going to integrate x3 minus 5x squared dx, I know I'm going to integrate, that's the bit I'm focusing on, add 1 to the power, divide by it. Add 1 to the power, divide by it. And there may have been a constant that disappeared. You always put plus c on when you integrate. Regardless of what you're integrating, you put on plus c. And we'll try one more, and then we'll sum this up. So if I see this curly bracket, or this curly s, 6x minus 6x squared minus 2 over 3 x cubed dx. I'm going to integrate this. So let's see how we do that. Add 1 to the power, divide by it. Add 1 to the power, divide by it. Add 1 to the power, and here, divide by it. And then always put on plus c in case there was a constant. Tidy it up. 3x squared minus 2x3. The 2 and the 4 cancel to give you a 2 in the bottom row. So 3 times 2 in the bottom is a 6. x4 plus c. So, to integrate, here are your main points that you need to learn off really, really well. I'll write it up here actually. So, to integrate, first thing, add 1 to power and divide by it. That's the thing you do every single time. That's the first thing. Number 2, if you have a number on its own, it integrates back to x, to number times x. So number times x. So if you look down here, that's what I mean here. Look, see the way I had a number on its own? So the x reappears. If you look here at this one, had a number on its own, the x reappeared. And number 3 is always put on plus c at the end. And that is how to integrate. What I want you to do now is practice exercise 9a, and I'll post a video of the answers.